The first one say, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim, Al Shai, Bashim, God, Dash. Your Dabam, so Pasa, then takes your Muslim, probably the truth, now say, Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm going to share this on how being in the truth is better than being in the world, no matter how things may look, no matter how much, suffering, you go through. Because, when you go into the world, there's a lot of, you see all the fancy and dainty things that niggas are into, and, niggas getting money, clothes, hoes, getting all these things. But a couple scriptures go into how, the fashion of this world passes away. All those things are finite. There's a limit. They have a limit to them. But this is 2 Corinthians 7:18. Because, this is one of the reasons why people in the world go so hard in the world, while they lose sleep, while they sacrifice decades of their lives to be rich or to have the things that they have. Because their hope is only in America. Like they believe that they have one life to live. To get out of life all you can, and do whatever it is that your heart desires, regardless of any consequences that may come. 2 Corinthians 7:18. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet they shall not see the wide. And everybody is going to suffer no matter what, because at the end of the day, everybody is sinning against Yahweh Shemal Shai. And everybody on this planet, we're all worthy of death, straight up death. But the Lord have mercy on us and give us a less sentence than that. And you see what happened with during the flood, how Lord just wiped everybody out. No, he's not doing that now, which is, testament to mercy. And their sins were less, like the height of what they got to was less than what's going on now. What's going on now has exceeded anything in history. That's why, everything is going to culminate with World War III. Everything is leading up to that apex. But the people in the world, they go so hard once again because this is all they have. It becomes easier to let go of the world, to not be as attached, when you understand that there's something coming after this. And not only that, but our kingdom where we can get, the things that we want is coming after this. And, it'll seem like a long time, but, well, luckily for us, mercy, has been had on us, that it's not as if America has another 20, 30, or 40, or 50 years. At the rate things are going, this country does not have that long of a time in existence. Which is another reason, once again, why people go so hard, even though they know that it's all going to end. They just want to be all they can be, and they want to shine as bright as they can and burn that fire out. But it says how everybody's going to suffer, but the difference between the wicked suffering and the righteous is that the righteous, we know what we're suffering for exactly. Well, Lord willing, we that believe are counted as righteous. We know what all this is for. And not only that, but even when you go into the Lord having mercy on his elect, in the truth, there are benefits, such as Yahweh Shemal Shai having your back in sticky situations. You being able to maneuver throughout the world using the wisdom of the scriptures. Because believe it or not, the Bible is applicable to this world. Our forefathers used it, and we can very well use it, and many of us, if not all of us, have used it in some capacity or another. And it's been beneficial. But niggas out in the world, they don't have that. And believe it or not, something, I'm not trying to downplay the Bible, but looking at it from a heathen's eyes, something as simple as a book full of words can mean the world of difference between life and death. Between somebody spending the rest of their life suffering, or somebody's, you know, uh, unnecessarily, and somebody spend, you know, the rest of their life, you know, just suffering, or, you know, like avoiding certain things that didn't had to have been that didn't had to happen. That's another you know, that's another point there, how the righteous, even though they're suffering as well. And not only that, but the righteous don't suffer as the wicked. You know, going to Jacob's trouble. A lot, like, there's going to be martyrs, but they're not going to be as the wicked, you know, wicked niggas. You know, believe it or not, you're gonna have a lot of wicked niggas that are gonna die screaming, strapped to a surgeon's table under a white light, standing beneath a nigga with a white mask, a lab coat, and a damn scalpel in his hand. A lot of people are gonna die slowly and screaming. And people may look at the righteous or the hopeful elect that are suffering, believing Yahweh Shema Shai now, and they'll look at them like, um, his suffering is, you know, like, what's going on with this guy? You know, he's not acting the same as us. He's not dressing the same as us. He's going through all these things. But the Lord punishes, you know, everybody their measure, but he punishes his righteous. And now, so when Jacob's trouble happened, you know, they'll already have gone through that fire. And now what? The righteous go through that spiritual fire, adversity and affliction. Meanwhile, the wicked are going to have to go through that physical fire. That physical adversity and affliction, that's going to be many times worse than what the Lord is giving us now. Many times over. But that's another benefit to the truth. You know, like what? Mercy. Having gone through shit. Because it's, you know, it's easier to, like, the things that we go through now, arguably it's easier to deal with these things than going through Jacob's trouble. And, you know, having that punishment in Jacob's trouble. Because the scriptures talk about how it's going to be the worst time that's ever been in the history of man. Worse than what's going on now. Worse than what's ever happened in history. Where, you know, here, and when the society's being upheld, you have some way, you know, you have some way to vent and, you know, to reprieve, whether it be through you know, you might drink, obviously not get drunk, but you know, you might drink a little, watch TV, sports, whatever. You have some way to alleviate that, you know, that stress and that anger. Boxing, you know, workout, you know, different things, you know, you can do. But with Jacob's trouble, you're not going to have any of that. It's going to be one constant catastrophe and disaster after another. But, you know, that, like, you know, the truth, whether people want to believe it or not, does have a lot of benefit to it. But I'm not going to go on anymore. That was pretty much it. This is inspired by something that brother said in a live stream. I'll go to verse 20. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before him. You know, and like, once again, going back to how the fact that there's benefit in the truth, but people, and one of the definitions for the word despise is to turn away from. And that's what people do. They turn away from the counsel of the Lord, and what happens? They're punished, because it's not just you know, it's not just words of some crazy old quack or some old niggas sitting on the couch, as some pieces of shit said about the apostles. It's not just, you know, some words of old dude. These are things that can actually save your life and save you a ton of trouble, because niggas don't adhere to this and they go through suffering, constantly. But who was that? Finally, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Ashah, Bashim Gakdash, Davan Sapasa, and teacher at Millstone for learning truth. Shalom to hopeful like Israel. Instruction about longer in America. I'm see if I want to read anymore. That was it. Shalom.